Mismong si Pangulong Marcos nagulat nang biglang magpakumbaba ang mga Tsino. Biglang nagsorry sa Pilipinas. Base sa balitang kumakalat, nagulat ang Pangulong Marcos nang biglang magpakumbaba ang ministro ng China. Ayon kay Chinese Foreign Ministry Mao Ning, ready nang makipag-usap ang China at makipagnegosasyon sa Philippines kaugnay sa isyong lumalala. Bukas ng Chinang makipag-ayos sa Philippines.
首先，中方维护自身领土主权和海洋权益的决心坚定不移。一段时间以来，菲律宾利用仁爱礁等问题频繁挑起事端，并拉拢域外势力介入，中方不得不采取必要的措施，坚决应对。
Mabilis namang pinabulaanan ni Defense Secretary Gibo ang planong pakikipag-usap ng China sa Philippines. Ayon sa Defense Secretary, paano siya maniniwala sa China na bukas makipag-ayos at makipagnegosasyon sa Philippines? Para ka lang naman daw nakipag-usap sa sinungaling na bansa. Dito hindi siya payag na makipag-usap at makipag-ayos ang Philippines.
They want a dialogue, but they claim indisputable sovereignty over the whole of the South China Sea. They do not respect UNCLOS, which they pretend to. They do not respect the legal principles of the arbitral tribunal, which other countries respect. And they will stick to their version of history, claiming sea without relation to coastal areas. Then, what kind of bilateral talks or dialogues can we expect? So, absent that, it is a delaying tactic on their part. That is my view. Now, I do not know on the part of the other agencies of government if there is a framework
Well, President,
for bilateral talks. But on my end, there is none.
okay. Well, the president.
There is no defense minister.
Okay.
I have no counterpart in China whatsoever. I do not see the need for defense to defense talks with China now.
So, are we changing the policy of friend to all?
No, we are friend to all, just as long as they are friends to us.
All right. Thank you very much, Defense Secretary.
How can you treat somebody a friend? We treat everybody as a friend just as long as they don't take what is ours.
All right. Thank you very much,
The
Defense.
President said we are jealous of what we have. It really proves what we're saying, that their full interest really is to marginalize the Philippines. There are no peaceful intentions. They want to grab everything for themselves. It just adds credence to what I said yesterday. They are the only ones. Sila lang ang naniniwala sa propaganda nila. Walang na isang bansa sa mundo na sumasang-ayon sa kanila. Hindi lang nagsasalita ng ibang mga bansa. On the contrary, ang daming bansa na tumutuligsa at kinukundina ang ginagawa ng China sa West Philippine Sea at saka sa South China Sea. O sa panig naman ng Pilipinas, ni isang bansa walang umuna o tumuligsa sa ating pangangalaga ng ating mga karapatan sa karagatan sa West Philippine Sea kung hindi China. So ito mga sinasabi nila na the Philippines will take its toll. Sabay, bilateral, sabay kahit na anong alyansa ang gagawin ninyo, walang mangyayari at kayo rin na mangangawawa. Ito ay talagang taktika na nila kasi alam na natin na nahihirapan na rin sila sa buong mundo, numero uno, sa kredibilidad nila dahil pinalalabas mo nila na sila ay very peaceful, peace-loving, magandang intensyon. Katulad po noong 1995, sa Mischief Reef, naglagay sila ng mga structures na basic doon para daw sa mangingisda. Ngayon, artificial island na may runway na may militar na doon. So, sila na lang ang naniniwala at mga tao nila na brainwash naman dahil walang malayang pamamahayag sa China at walang may layang mamahayag na katotohanan doon kundi makukulong unless na pinapayagan nila.
Pero even
So they are the
after,
only one.
how
At
you?
saka yung paggamit nila ng maritime militia and Coast Guard
So, how do you plan to counter?
para yung narrative nila na pag-aari namin ito, deterrence of China is one thing. But there's also another dimension.
Yes.
If the acts are not condemned, if we do not file diplomatic protests, China can say, hey, you didn't file a protest. Hey, nobody's protesting. So you're accepting our version.
All right. So
That's the
over
way international law works.
over 100 diplomatic protests already filed. Now, you mentioned earlier that countries like India, France, are interested in conducting joint patrols as well. Do these countries need an agreement first, like VFA, for them to join? Because
No, joint patrols we do not need, as I said.
Okay.
Joint patrols agreements are not needed.
but the French government, I think, said that this was a requirement for them from the Philippine side.
Well, then we respect that. Probably it's an area-based requirement. That's why sometimes we term it as joint sales if it's just a passing through exercise.
But how open is the Philippines to the possibility?
We cannot say how often how often it will be, but
Okay.
as often as possible based on our operational capabilities.
All right, but how open is the Philippines to the possibility of allied countries joining resupply missions in the West Philippine Sea?
That is something yet to be decided upon, and I'm not at liberty to state what the situation is right now.
Okay, but as defense chief, why do you think that China is getting more aggressive in Ayungin Shoal resupply missions? I mean, what is Beijing's end goal? You said before China wants to turn the South China Sea to become a lake of China. What are you seeing?
No, they want to occupy it and to force countries into a modus vivendi with them. That's why their aggressive actions are always coupled with an offer for unstructured and without foundation bilateral talks. So the bilateral talk is part of the weapon that they use together with swarming, area denial, harassment, in order to pressure you into acceding into their demands.
Well, you mentioned swarming.
To their demands, yeah.
Yes, you mentioned swarming. There have been reports of Chinese ships inside Ayungin Shoal just in the last few days. How concerning is this for you?
Well, it is definitely concerning because they are getting more aggressive and demonstrative in their actions. However, I mean, the rest of the world's reaction to them is more concerning to them than to us, actually.
But
Because this is not a matter of Philippine law alone. This is a matter of international law, and beyond the EEZ is a global common, which cannot be appropriated by anyone. No? Now, China wants to claim everything. That is why also we have to be very, very vigilant in protesting, because part of the gray zone tactic of China and part of their quote-unquote, if I can call it legal option, is to claim the entire South China Sea as an internal water without any relation to their territory and enforce domestic Chinese law over the whole area.
that was evidenced by their 10-dash line. Dati 9-dash line, ngayon naging 10-dash line. So, how do you plan to counter po the possible swarming of ships in Ayungin Shoal?
Well, the countering really is in two ways. Insofar as my department is concerned, to build up our capability upgrades as soon as possible, to have a more robust presence in the West Philippine Sea, and not only there, but throughout our EEZ, wherever it is, and to build up interoperability and partnerships and alliances with like-minded nations. Those three on the defense side are my priorities. Naturally, there are diplomatic efforts on the Department of Foreign Affairs side and national security efforts on the national security side. But to delve into this is a complex problem. Each of us should focus on our own tasks because time is not on our side. We are in a hurry.
All right, well, speaking of time, we need to...
But let me clarify,
Yes.
we're in a hurry because it's been a long time we haven't done anything. and we need to catch up right now. They see really the cumulative value of working together towards a free and open Indo-Pacific and a rules-based international order. And nobody, as I said yesterday, it goes back to show that nobody in the world has publicly proclaimed support for China's quote-unquote appropriation of the whole of the South China Sea as its own. On the contrary, several countries have condemned their illegal actions based on contrived history and contrived or an attempt to change international law and pound other countries into submission, into acquiescing or accepting their version of international law.
But sir, how,
Conversely, on the part of the Philippines, no country has condemned us for standing up for our sovereign.
Ngayon, ikaw, bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.